Hi guys. Okay, so I was just doing the Lunchtime Live Lounge over on Facebook as I do every Monday at 12 p.m. But it came out a bit fuzzy, so I thought I would re-record it here for my lovely YouTube lot. Now this week I was talking about, very specifically, hashtags. And the reason for that is I was working with one of my one-to-one clients last week, and when I first kick off with working with a client, I like to have a rummage. I like to have a really good rummage through what they're already doing, so I can pick out any obvious spots that need to be repaired first. And one of the things that I spotted was that they weren't using any hashtags, like at all, none. And so I asked them about that, and they said that they had been told by someone that hashtags were old hat and that they were no longer relevant. So obviously I had to put them straight. Now, Twitter is kind of where I'm most at home. I've got a huge following over on Twitter. Well, not in comparison to a celebrity, but to most people, it's pretty big. And so I know my way around Twitter really quite well. And I can tell you that once I got my head round hashtags, my impressions were like 10 times more than what they had been previous to that, in Twitter. And that showed, it reflected in my website hits, it reflected in my downloads, for my show, it reflected through everything that I was doing, all the content that I was putting out. It did reflect that actually hashtags were something that I had been missing. And it's a trick that you need to make sure that you include in your social media strategy. Now, what I will say is, and I think what this person had been told was that they were overused. And that's why they were just kind of redundant and you shouldn't really, because there's no point. And I understand, I genuinely get that, okay, because they are overused. And there are certainly some that you just need to avoid, really, really need to avoid, because they are just used way too much. And you will just get lost completely in the crowd. But it's down to you as an individual to do your research in hashtags, all right? Now, hashtags, they do require some research because, as I say, there are some that are way overused and you're just going to get lost. There are some that are useless. Nobody's talking about them. You need to find the ones that people are talking about, but they're not talking about too much. Okay? And you need to be targeted. They need to be targeted. They need to be specific. They need to be content driven to who you're trying to talk to, who you're trying to connect with. One of the things I just mentioned just there is lots and lots of journalists use hashtags. So the amount of times I've been found on Twitter because of a hashtag has got me some of my really crazy cool publications. Okay, all down to a hashtag. All right, so you're talking to someone that is pro hashtagging. Okay, completely. And I can tell you that because I've put the hard work in, I've done the reviews, I frequently re-review them to make sure that they're still relevant for me and my crowd, and I put them into place. I use them, I'm consistent with them, I'm driven with them, I'm targeted with them, and that makes them work. So, for those that are saying that they don't work, I would say that these are going to be people that have not done that work. They've not done that back work of reviewing and, networking through them to find the really, really targeted ones, the ones that are really good, but not too good, excuse me, and putting them into place into their strategy, because then they haven't seen the difference that they make to what's happening to the content that they're putting out. So obviously, the person that I'm working with, we kind of hash that out, hashtag, and we're putting that right as we speak, which is great. there are don't get me wrong, there are people that hashtag everything, and that's not right. Okay, some of the stuff that I was having a nosy through various things last week, and some of the stuff that I found, there was people like hashtagging every word or every other word. Who is going to look for hashtag say? That doesn't work. Okay, that doesn't work. No one is going to be hashtagging that. That makes no sense to nobody. So that is the wrong way of using hashtags. There are two ways of dealing with hashtags. So I think there's two. There's definitely one in the sense of being really driven, very targeted, super relevant for your crowd, for who you're looking for, who's potentially going to find you. Because it is a two-way street. You can use them for finding people, and people will use them for finding you. So you've got to kind of bear that in mind. So you've got the really serious side to hashtags, but then you've got the fun side of hashtags. There's two different ways of using them. I kind of blend the two, if I'm honest. Why not? It's fun, Your business shouldn't be all doom and gloom and tears and sweat and hard work. There needs to be some fun injected in there as well. So I do use both. And, one of the things is, yes, Twitter is the home of the hashtag. It's where it was born. But if you're not using them on Instagram, you are missing a trick. You are absolutely missing a trick. Instagram is all about the hashtag. It's all about the hashtag. I'm toying with the idea of saying more so than Twitter. Maybe, I don't know. Instagram is a lot newer. It's a lot younger in age than Twitter. So I wouldn't say it's still finding its feet. I think it's one that's only got its feet on the floor. But if you're not using hashtags in Instagram, and the strategy between Twitter and Instagram is different. Yeah, there is different ones, so you need to research them both. You are really missing out. Hugely missing out. I can get 10 times more attention with using targeted hashtags on Instagram and Twitter than without using them. Why would you not? Why would you not spend half an hour once every few weeks just bashing in your potential hashtags to make sure that they are still bang on target for you, and get 10 times more views on the content that you're putting out? Why would you not do that? It doesn't make sense to me. But yeah, so you can imagine I was like, what? I didn't understand. Obviously the people, if you're being told something by someone that you have placed in a position of authority, whether they are or they aren't, people place different people in that position. If you're viewing that person as someone as an authoritative figure, and they tell you that hashtags are no longer relevant, then you're quite likely to believe it, I suppose. But what I tend to do, I'm nosy, what I tend to do is, if someone tells me something about social media, for example, I go and have a look at their social media and see if they're smashing it out. Are they doing a damn good job? Are they? If the answer is no, are you going to believe them? I think so. The same with website stuff. If they're telling you, oh, this isn't great, this is blah, 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 go and have a look. Have a look for yourself. Try and suss it out. Not if, I saw a great meme on Facebook the other day, and I can't think what it is now. Something like, just because you saw it on Facebook doesn't mean it's true. And this is exactly the same. Just because someone's told you that potentially hashtags are old hat and they're just irrelevant, they've been made redundant over the years because of overusage, does that make it true? Who knows? I don't think so. I think actually with the right market, with the right audience, with the right hashtags, connected to the right content at the right time, they are super crazy powerful. They always have been, and I think they always will be, as long as they fulfill those things I've just said. So yeah, that's what I wanted to talk about for the live lounge this week. And the other thing that I covered is the Essentials course has launched today. It's brand spanking new. It is epic. I think there's around 35 videos in there. And we cover hashtagging in this course, both in Twitter and Instagram. So if you are struggling to get your head around them, how to use them, where to find them, what to do with them, this course is bang going to deal with that for you. It's going to be bang on target for you. The course is $297, but for the first 10 people that sign up, so you're going to have to be quick, you're going to get a free one-to-one with me for half an hour, so we can really kind of get deep, get you in there, get you sorted, and get you going really, really fast. Get those numbers clicking up as everyone wants. That's what everyone wants, isn't it? I see the numbers going up. So I'm going to leave you with this. Yeah, Facebook, Mondays, 12 o'clock, Lunchtime Live Lounge. Head on over and say hello. If you've got any questions, you can ask me there. If you've got any questions about this video, pop them in the bit below, and I will happily answer them for you. I will also post a link to the course below as well. So hopefully I've answered the question. Are hashtags old hat? Yeah, not to me. Not now, not ever, I don't think. No, I'm going to stick with that statement. I'm going to put my neck out on the line. Alright, so I'll see you next week. Toodaloo!